What's up, guys? Percocet Productions here, and we are going to be ranking all of the Black Ops 1 multiplayer maps today.
Now, this is going to include all the DLC maps. I'm sure everybody's played them, or at least have an idea of what they are. There were 26 maps total, but for the first 10, we're going to kind of skip through a little bit just to make it a little bit quicker. Once we hit the top 15, then we'll really start getting in depth as to why we listed them there.
And I'm Jason.
I'm Ethan.
And let's get right into it. So, number 26 for me. Number 26 is Crysis for me. Very forgettable map. I had to look it up to remember it, honestly.
I almost agree with that. I had Crysis at 25.
Okay.
For me, 26 was Cracked.
Oh.
26, Cracked was not really that good of a map to me, but it's still not the worst Call of Duty map. It's just not the best. It's not the best Black Ops 1 map.
Yeah. So 25 for me was Cracked. So we just had those flipped.
It's very, I mean, they can probably be either one.
Yeah. 24 for me will be Berlin Wall.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had a hard time ranking Berlin Wall. I think mainly just because you had that real campery spot, which I didn't really like in hindsight.
Yeah. And then the middle is a war zone and a death zone if you go too far. I can understand that.
Yeah.
For me, 24 had to be Silo.
Okay.
I never liked Silo. I always thought it was very wide open, and I just felt like I could never do good on it. I feel like somebody would always quick scope me from everywhere, and I'd be dead.
Wow. So 23 for me is Silo for that exact reason. So pretty similar list so far.
23 for me was Kowloon. I was never much of a big fan of Kowloon, but it was a cool idea. I liked the rooftops idea. I just never really liked the map itself. The layout was not my favorite.
Okay. Number 22 for me is Zoo.
Ooh.
Thinking about a zoo map. Come on, man. You should have had animals somewhere. You should have animals I should see.
So that's a good point.
That's my complaint.
They did have the pig in 5 that you could kill. So why not a giraffe?
Yeah. Why can't I see a lion?
That's probably like a war crime or something that you could kill a giraffe. For me, 22 was Discovery. I never really liked Discovery. I mean, again, it's a cool place, but the layout is very shitty to me. I didn't like the fact that there were the 3 lanes across the open pit, because I just felt like you were funneled, and I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. I will go 21 with Array. I like Array. I do like Array. I just think that there are better maps, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a forgettable map for me.
Okay.
But I did like it.
21 for me, I had to put Convoy. I did like Convoy. I liked the one area on the side with the hotel or motel, whatever it was, and the middle was pretty good because you had snipers and assault rifles going back and forth. The other side of the map, I wasn't much of a fan of, but again, it's an okay map. It wasn't great by Black Ops standards, but it's probably great compared to some of the other Call of Duties we've gotten.
Yeah. Which, I guess, number 20 for me is actually Convoy, for all the reasons you listed. I just like the middle with all the opening in the middle where you can come through, and then you got the snipers. I liked it. It was decent.
All right, well, number 20 for me, I had to put Jungle. I honestly never really liked Jungle.
Wow.
I never really did. I mean, again, cool atmosphere, cool map. The minefield outside of the map that you get blown up in is cool because we always used to screw with each other in it. But I never liked the layout of the map, honestly.
Okay. So that would be number 19 for me is Drive-In. It's a sniper's paradise in a lot of ways, and I think there are better sniper paradise maps.
I'm noticing a lot of DLC maps down here.
Yes, actually, true. Yeah. That is true. I don't know why. Maybe they exhausted all their ideas, or I don't know. But yeah.
Well, number 19 for me, I had to put Stockpile. The most fun I remember on Stockpile was shutting the door on somebody, because we used to do that right at the beginning of like Search and Destroy or something. Door comes down, kills somebody, bam. That was the highlight of the whole game, because the rest of the time you were just getting shit on in the middle building.
Yeah. Number 18 for me. I think this would be number
Mm,
18.
yeah, number 18.
Grid.
Mm,
Grid. Grid
mm.
is a great map. The big middle area is fun. It's kind of a boring looking map though overall. You had some cool spots, but it did not pop my fancy.
I can see that. Number 18 for me is actually Zoo.
Yeah.
It's not a bad layout of a map by any means, but it just wasn't great.
Where's the
There-
fucking animals, man? Number 17 for me is radiation.
oh,
Oh.
oh, that hits my heart, dude.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh no.
I did not like the factory area of this map,
Oh God.
honestly. The rest was good. I did not like the factory area of the map. Um,
Mm.
yes.
Hold on, I'm recovering. Um, number 17 for me, I had to do driving.
Yeah.
It, I like the sides of driving. They were cool areas like the arcade and then the trailer, but I hated the middle. You literally were just caught in a sniper war and there was no escape. You
Yeah.
were getting popped either way in the middle.
Number 16 for me is Hanoi.
Oh, same actually.
We both got Hanoi at number 16. Good
Yeah.
map. I like
It,
the nighttime. That was probably the best part about it,
I
honestly.
agree about that. The nighttime was actually a very good aspect of the map and the searchlights going across. I actually
Yeah.
really enjoyed that. But
Yeah.
other than that, I will add to it. I think the map was just a little bland.
Yeah.
There wasn't much else besides the fact that it was nighttime.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, so our top 15, getting into the good ones now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, I guess they're all pretty good, but number 15 for me is Hangar 18.
Mm, okay.
Hangar is a good map. The big plane in the middle, you got those really long distance areas inside the hangar that you can shoot at people, and you also have that real nice long distance where you can shoot across where the open area is, where the plane is. You have a lot of sneaky routes that you can get into. I think the flow of gameplay, I really didn't like this map much when I played, but thinking back, the flow of gameplay on this map was a lot of fun.
Compared to what we've gotten lately, yes, it was a good flow.
Yeah.
Number 15 for me, I had to do Villa.
Ooh.
I I, I did enjoy Villa. I actually really liked the map a lot. This is where it started getting really hard for me. Once
Mm-hmm.
we hit the top 15, I had a hard time ranking these because Black Ops 1 had such good maps that it was so hard to put these into an actual order. And honestly, I look at my order and I have wanted to change it time after time after time. I wanted to move just about every top 15 map around some way or another.
I know.
It's hard, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, number 14 for me is a map that you talked about a little bit earlier. Stockpile. A fun map, a little bit bland, I will say. It's definitely not top tier map, but out of the DLC maps, I think it was one of the better ones. Closing the door was fun. Also just being in that area. Like the door is such a minor thing, but it actually controls gameplay a lot. Like if you have it open, it really opens up that big room or that big building.
Right, right.
But if you have it closed, you get a lot of real close combat there. You get a lot of like camping, and it really changes up gameplay there. Just depending on that door, and it's such a simple thing. And yeah, out of the DLC maps, good map, good map.
Okay. Okay. Number 14 for me, I picked Hazard. And, Hazard was a remake of Cliffside or something from World at War. It was cool to see it brought into another game and like given a new life. I actually did enjoy that aspect of it. The golf course is cool. It's just it's just all snipers. If you can't snipe, you might as well just leave the game once Hazard loads up. You're not there's nowhere on this map that's close quarter besides that one middle room.
Yeah,
That is the only spot where you could get away with anything remotely close quarter. The second you go to use a submachine gun or a shotgun or a pistol, you're dead. You don't stand a chance. And I think that's why I had it at 14 because it just wasn't. It wasn't meant for everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good takeaway from it. I think number 13 for me would have to be Villa. A I would say a good map, possibly a great map even. Um, Villa is really good. I like the one you have that one big window that you can look out at, and that's where a lot of people funnel, and that
Yeah,
creates some
yeah.
good combat there. You also got that big lookout spot over like the fountain, which is really cool. Villa had a lot of like tight areas, but also had a lot of open areas where you can like pop people. It had a lot of like, there's no real sniping spot on Villa, which I guess you could say that's a downside, but not all maps need a sniping area. Um, and I think that Villa was a pretty good map.
Okay, I can see that. Number 13 for me, I had to do Hangar 18
Hmm.
for the reasons you said earlier. Like it really did have a lot of good gameplay. At the time, I didn't really think about it because I wasn't some god at Call of Duty. I wasn't going 50-1
Yeah.
every. We weren't bad, but we weren't on the level of some of these people. So when you get into a game like that and you just get toasted every time you spawn, it was a little rough. But all in all, I like the layout of it. It really did inspire one of the great zombie maps in Moon with the hangar,
Yeah.
and it was pretty great. I'll admit it. I actually really did like Hangar 18, and the autopsy of the alien in the one room is a nice little Easter egg.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot
Yeah,
all
you forgot
about
about
that. Yeah, I did.
that. It was a cool little touch. I really like that, and the apple that would ricochet bullets everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. That was really cool. Hangar was a really fun map,
It
actually.
was.
Low key, a fun
They
map.
went out of their way when they did that one.
Yeah. Number, would it be 12?
Well,
Number 12. Number 12 for me is Hazard that you talked about earlier.
okay.
A fantastic sniper's paradise. Like, you don't get a better sniper map than this. You can see from one end to the map to the other instantly. Even when they spawn, like,
Oh yeah, dude.
you could
You got
just
spawn trapped
snipe
like it
them.
was nothing.
Golf course was great. You also had like that cliffside, which was sniper field, but there was also a lot of cover that you can pull up to and try to like get around on the snipers. You also had actually that one side where it was just a long walkway was pretty dangerous. You could get popped pretty easily there.
Especially being on the downhill side.
Yeah,
You didn't stand a chance.
yeah, but in a beautiful aesthetic map, like a golf course, I didn't play the World at War map, so this was my first introduction to this map, and I really liked it. I think that it's very unique amongst the Black Ops 1 maps. You don't really get a lot of maps like that aren't really in like a wartime theme,
Right, right.
but it was just a golf course.
All right. Well, for me, I'm gonna have to put number 12 as Berlin Wall.
Wow.
I know you talked about it earlier, and it's one of your least favorite maps, but I actually really enjoyed Berlin Wall. I know
Wow.
I talked about the three-way funnels on like Discovery, and I didn't like it, but for Berlin Wall, I felt like it was very balanced three-way funnel. I feel like the left
Wow.
side with the security clearance, you were in good shape because that was just wide enough open that you could get in a gunfight and survive, but it wasn't wide open enough to have snipers. And I think that was one thing where Berlin Wall really shined. There was not much to snipe. Now, and with everybody trying to quick scope and do all these other trick shots in Black Ops 1 when it really became rampant, yeah, it was nice to have that map where it's just run and gun, run and gun, run and gun.
Yeah. Yeah, Berlin Wall, not my favorite, but I can see the reason to appreciate it. Didn't they have like the guns if you ran outside
If
the?
you ran in the no man's land.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I thought it
yeah,
was really cool because every match you would see one person try to make it from one end to the other. Every
yeah.
match there was always somebody that would try to run across and they never made it.
Yeah, you're right,
I
actually.
remember there were all these like tips and videos and stuff. Oh, put on lightweight, run with an MP5, all this other stuff to do it, and I'm sure you could, but I don't think I ever saw anybody make it.
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. This is a funny map. I used to like camping on it. That's what I'll say. I used to like camping like right like there was a bunch of doorways and like if you just
Oh
camp
yeah,
outside
yeah.
the doorways, you could just pop people, which is kind of brutal, but it is what it
So,
is.
so you're a dickhead, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I was a dickhead. I used to play hardcore and I used to kill my teammates
Oh,
on
what
that
a
map
dude.
all the time. Oh man. Number 11 for me is WMD.
Mm.
WMD is a great map. Honestly, I will say these maps from here on out, fantastic, great maps. I would play them all the time if I could. You had like these really big, tall spots, like taller than I think any other spot in any other map. You know, you had the like silo thing that you could get on top of in this
Yeah, it
map.
was like the piping or whatever. I know what you're talking about. That was
Yeah,
really tall when I think about it.
yeah, like no
Oh
other
no, I
map.
the three silos in the back of the one side, and then the other side you had that massive like pipe you could climb up.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
by like the factory.
Yeah, and you could see
You
a
were really high
lot.
up.
Yeah. Higher than anywhere else on the maps.
Yeah,
And
that's actually nuts.
you also had that catwalk that you could come out to, and you also had that building that you had the windows that you
Oh,
could see out
oh,
of.
that building
Yeah.
was always a war zone.
Always. People were always running in. You had that long distance like mine area where they had the mine cart stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and a lot of back ways to sneak through and pop people. Honestly, yeah, at one point when I was playing the game, Black Ops 1, in the moment, it was probably my favorite map, honestly.
See,
Um,
I can understand that. That was a very good map. I will agree with that.
yeah, just great map.
And I'm gonna have to agree. From 11 up, these maps are all phenomenal, and it was terrible for me to try to do these. Top 15 was hard, but once you hit like the top 11, top 10, I felt like I was ripping my own skin off.
Yeah.
Number 11 for me had to be Havana.
Okay.
I really love the atmosphere. I really love the map layout. You had the middle where you would occasionally have people trying to snipe each other, but the snipers were always intercepted because of the side tunnels, which were basically like the hotel on the one side, and then you had the, I don't know, I guess it was another hotel on the other side,
Yeah.
and it was always chaotic enough, especially around that fountain. Anytime you played Siege, or not Siege, Search and Destroy, there were always people at that fountain on the one
True.
side.
Yeah. That was like the close quarters area.
Yeah, and it was always a good game on Havana.
Yeah.
I never hated playing on it.
Well, number 10 for me in the top 10 is Havana. Number 10 is Havana. Um, the same reasons you said. Also, it was I think it was the first mission of BO1 campaign too. Havana
Yeah.
was,
Yep.
and yeah, the sniper range was great for this map. You also had that close quarter fountain area, and you had the little sideways. Honestly, everything you said, and Havana was just a really well playing map and great visuals, great looking map, super fun.
I agree. Number 10, I had to say Grid. That's why you hit me a little hard there earlier.
Wow. Okay.
I actually really enjoyed the layout of Grid.
Yeah.
I remember it very fondly. I loved that one building, the long building, and then I loved the other building that had the upstairs with it was only the one ledge that you could get to when you jumped from the truck. I
Yeah.
always enjoyed that because that spot, if you got that spot, you could stay up there almost the whole match. As long as you kept like if you had a motion sensor, you were golden. Nobody was getting past you. You could pop everybody that came your way.
Yeah. A
And the whole
great
rest of the
search
map,
map.
yeah, for real. The whole rest of the map, man, I love the layout. I loved everything about it.
Well, speaking of hurting each other, number 9 for me is Jungle. Jungle, I freaking love Jungle. I debated putting it like top 5.
Oh,
Um, Jungle is there is no map in Black Ops 1 that looks like it. A lot of the maps, they look similar. There's a lot of similar like bland looking maps. No map looked like Jungle. Jungle, you could blend in. You had that huge cliff that everybody would run off of and die. Um, you had the huts. You had the back way where you could get up to that cliff. You had And that bridge too. I mean, Jungle was just a real. I know that's a big disagreeing point here, but Jungle was awesome for me, man. I did love Jungle a lot. I liked seeing it be remastered too.
All right, well, I got another one that you hit me hard with. Number 9 for me was Array.
Oh,
I
okay.
I loved the layout of Array. I thought it was the perfect mixture of everything. You had close quarters, mid-range combat, long-range combat.
True.
If somebody got up on that one, what was it, electric tower and sniped,
Yeah.
you know, you could counter them with an assault rifle, but that was the point where, like you tried to be king of the tower. You tried to take it over and snipe from there. And, I love the inside circular building. I always loved being in there. I always loved the war zone that happened in there because every game that building was a war zone,
Yeah.
whether it was right on the outside of it or inside.
Yeah. I realized I did some of the maps dirty.
You did too, man. But so did I. I'll admit I did too.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
It
But
is.
number 8 for me is Discovery, actually.
Oh.
I love
Oh.
Discovery. I do love Discovery. I do have a soft spot for the snow maps in Black Ops. This is one of them, and a very snow map. The scenery of the green, like Aurora Boreas lights type thing going on in the back was really
I
cool.
see that. They were really cool to see.
Yeah, and you had that like real long catwalk that I actually did like personally. And you also had that middle building where like it would be all out Warzone trying to like take
Oh,
control of
God.
that middle area. So I did like Discovery. Maybe, well, no, one of my favorite DLC maps, probably like top 3 DLC maps for the game.
Okay. Okay. All right. So for me, number 8, I had to do Stadium.
Wow. Okay.
I really like Stadium. I actually believe Stadium. Oh, nope, I'm a liar. I was gonna say I thought Stadium was my highest DLC map, but it is actually not.
Okay.
Stadium was actually a really fun map.
Yeah.
I felt like it was a very great combination of every aspect of the game. If you wanted to run around with a shotgun, you could. If you wanted to snipe, you could. If you wanted to use an SMG or LMG or assault rifle, it was all yours. You could literally do whatever you wanted on that map. It was a nice touch, I think.
Yeah.
And it's actually crazy because I think it's the only map that's actually on American soil.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I
Wait,
don't.
Convoy. Convoy has
Convoy, yeah,
yeah, has the LA
right. Or no,
marker.
driving is too, isn't it?
Drive-in might be, yeah, yeah.
Never mind, I'm a liar. There's a lot that actually take place on American soil.
Yeah.
Don't at me on that.
Well, number 7 for me is Hotel. A very close range map, a very great map. You won't see a lot of snipers on this map, maybe a few. But it's super close range, so you can get from one side of the hotel to the other very fast. You also have that little like down area where like the pool is type thing.
Yeah.
A bar or something down there, and not the best area to be in, I will say. You would
You were
die.
getting got one way or another.
Yeah.
Whether from the sides or from the buildings.
Yeah, and those sideways that you can run down on the edges of the map were fun. I think it was a bit too streamlined of a map for me. There really wasn't anything you could do like to get around, like how Villa has a lot of like secret, like not secret but like little sideways to go through.
Right.
My
It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but still a fantastic map. It's a great map, but number 7 for me.
Number 7 for me, I did WMD. I was
Yeah.
a little bit more generous. I really love it. Everything you said. The map was just great. I loved getting on that one little catwalk right in the middle. I loved getting in that one building in the war zone. You put a SPOS 12 in there, man. You're lighting up the whole room.
Yeah.
I loved everything about it. I really don't think that there was much of a map that could touch it in terms of gameplay. It's just that all these other maps that are above it are like, for me at least, top tier quality. Like these are like some of the best maps ever in Call of Duty. WMD, if WMD was in another game, it would be the best map of that game. Almost hands down.
Yeah, if somebody told me WMD was their favorite map, I wouldn't I would not
I
have
wouldn't bat
any
an eye.
issues. Yeah,
That's not totally understandable.
great map. Number 6 for me, almost top 5. Number 6 for me is Launch. A
Okay.
great map, a fantastic map. The launch itself would make it great anyway. Having it go off and then you die if you're in that area. You had a lot of you had that main area where it was very like narrow, but it was long. So you had all that like fighting that could go on in between
Yeah.
those areas, which was really fun. You also had the launch site, and it was just a great map. Um, yeah.
Okay. So number 6 for me, I would have to say, is Summit.
Okay.
I did really enjoy Summit. I mean, to this day, Summit is one of my favorite maps ever, and almost any Black Ops clip you see will have Summit in it.
Yeah.
There's always Summit is always going to be mentioned. The rail car on the outside of the map you could jump into. It wasn't much of a tactical advantage, but man, it was fun as shit to try. And then when you fell, you're always laughing your ass off about it. The inside, oh my god, the inside building was always a war zone, and I loved it. You could
Mm-hmm.
go in the bottom or in the top, either way, somebody was getting lit up. I think it was like the perfect map in terms of indoor outdoor combat. You had enough indoor combat to combat like an attack helicopter, but then you also had enough outdoor combat to warrant using an attack helicopter.
Yeah.
It was just a very greatly balanced map.
Yeah, and then you
I
had that.
never seen that good again.
Yeah, and you had that everybody would always walk into the middle building and they would throw a grenade or a
Yeah,
Semtex.
yep. Random grenades were everywhere in that one.
Yeah, and you would get a kill a lot of the time.
I
It's
guarantee
funny.
anybody that's played Summit has gotten a random grenade kill in that middle building at some point.
Yeah, it's
That used to be the pro strat.
perfect. Top 5. We are in the final stretch here. Give me Kowloon. Number 5, Kowloon. Kind of a hot take, but Kowloon, I liked the verticalness of it. I liked the huge ladder that you could climb up to get to that building, or like be on that balcony area, which was pretty cool. You had the zip lines. I'm pretty sure you had the zip lines that you could shoot through.
Yes. Yeah. There was.
Yeah, very vaguely remember them.
Yeah, 'cause I don't think they were much use. I think it was like right to the edge of the map, and that was it. I don't
Yeah,
think they really did much. But they were
yeah,
cool to use.
yeah, they were. And then you had that middle building that everybody would fight over. And if you were in there, you were getting taken down pretty fast, honestly. You were
Yeah,
getting
there was no staying there.
yeah, you were getting dropped real quick. I think an underrated map, honestly. All things
Yeah,
considered.
considering I put it at 23.
Damn, really? You put it at 23?
Yeah.
That's how early?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. You killed me on that one. You killed
Don't
me
worry,
on that
I got one that you killed me on. I'm lining it up for when it comes up. But for me, number 5, and I might get I might get jumped for this one, but I'm gonna have to put Nuketown at number 5.
Wow.
Looking back, Nuketown is just that
Wow.
iconic Black Ops map. We've gotten it in I believe every Treyarch game since, because it has been that iconic map. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows what it is. Nuketown 2025 for Black Ops 2 was this whole big deal. I remember it was like mind shattering that they were bringing it into Black Ops 2, and it has spawned a legacy really. But again, these maps are the top 10 maps for me are probably all interchangeable, but I just think that these other 4 maps in front of it are, to me,
Wow.
closer to my heart.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. Holy fuck, dude. Number 4 for me is Nuketown, actually. So just one spot higher.
And why are you overreacting then? Shut up.
I know, but people are gonna have that number 1, so
True.
but yeah, I think just seeing it in every single game made it so it's not as like pristine.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like all the other maps you rarely see like being remastered, so like they're more rare and more special, whereas Nuketown has been redone over and over and over again. Um, Nuketown's a fantastic map, the most colorful, most vibrant, fun map probably on BO1. I mean, the highest kill map you can get to.
Oh God, yeah.
Random Tomahawks map too. There's nothing bad you can say about Nuketown. Like, sure, it's only number 4 and number 5 for us, but there's nothing bad you can say about it. It's still a great,
It's there's a reason it spawned a legacy.
yeah, yeah. Across all of Call of Duty, it might be the best map ever. Like, if you
Yeah.
put all its iterations together.
Number 4 for me, I had to do firing range. I actually love firing range. I don't think there's one spot about firing range that I would change because, I love the tower in the middle you could get up and pop people. I loved the buildings. I love that one side area by the trailer, the back corner of the map. It's almost like they made it so that every part of firing range was a war zone.
Yeah,
You could get it lit up in every part of that map, but not by getting spawn killed. It just seemed like the fight always rotated somewhere else. And it was
yeah,
cool. I actually really enjoyed it. It was a great map, and there was just it was so well balanced.
yeah. I honestly don't know what your top 3 are. Then I think I know one, but
I think you do too, because you really did me dirty on it.
number 3 for me, top 3, Stadium, bro. Fantastic
I
map.
can see that.
Fantastic map. I mean, the middle was hell. The middle was a war
Yeah.
zone and in the best way possible, you know. Um like you can't go wrong with Stadium. It's one of the best maps. You also had that middle area where you can like really go off on people and
Oh, yeah.
what else was there? There was also the actual stadium itself, right? And
Yeah. It was like the outline of the stadium,
yeah, that was so
and that
cool.
that like roundabout edge was so cool to go down. And then the other side, you
Yeah.
had like an office or something.
Yeah, you also had like the part of the stadium that was like being worked on and that
Oh
was a
yeah, the
good little
scaffold.
area. Yeah. Top 3 map for sure for me. Very beautiful map too. That's something that I
Oh yeah,
really like
it
looked
was
at.
actually really nicely done.
Yeah.
So for me, for number 3, I see this is the one that I'm mad at you about. I put Radiation at number 3.
Radiation. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
I
Radiation.
I distinctly remember when I first loaded up Black Ops multiplayer, when I first got the game. Radiation was the first map I played, and
Okay.
I was in love with it. I love the doors in the middle. I love the factory. I love the underground. I love the layout on the side, like where there's the 2 layers. And I thought Radiation was a phenomenal map. I
Yeah.
loved Radiation, and it was cool to see the massive excavator in the background that later showed up in Moon. It was so cool to see that thing just moving across the earth out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for shitting on me, Jason.
Yeah, I did really destroy Radiation. Like I did not give it
You
a
did that. You did it dirty.
I did not give it a thing to stand on, and I stand by it. I'm standing with it.
That's how I feel about Kowloon, so we're even.
Okay, yeah, that's our even mark. Um, yeah, but fair enough. Number 2 for me is firing range.
See,
For
that's understandable.
all the reasons you said, firing range is a beautiful map, awesome map, really in the desert. You got that Jeep in the middle, which was so cool. I don't know why, but it was so cool.
Everybody
Um,
went to that Jeep.
yeah, and die, and died,
Everybody.
got blown up, which is
Yeah, for
funny.
real.
But you had a lot of like peeking spots that you could use. You had that like really tall building that somebody was always in for some reason,
Always.
and they would always get popped, or somebody would like sneak up on them on the other side. Um, and you also had that building that was like not made all the way, but it was just like a cool building that everybody was like in. Very fantastic map. 10 out of 10. Probably top 5 map in COD history. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Understandable. No doubt there.
Yeah.
For my number 2, I went with Launch.
Fair. Okay.
I actually loved Launch. I I honestly think that the way the map was set up was probably one of the perfect layouts a map should be laid out as. The
Yeah.
one side you had, you had the ramp that went underground and it had the rocket. The rocket added such a cool aspect to the game, and you could jump down on the flaps from up top so you could still get in the fight or go down the stairs. And I just remember that was always hell. Then you actually had the middle with all the like the train cars and stuff that were moved around in there. And I think the middle was a great spot to fight in. And then even at the left side, which was like just a sneak around spot. And I always loved playing on launch. Anytime it came up, it didn't matter what it went against, unless it was my number 1 map. I always picked launch.
Yeah, I cannot shame that. I cannot shame launch supremacy because it's a fantastic map. A lot of maps on BO1 were very like straightforward 3 lanes, but launch was not as straightforward. Like
No, it was kind of once you hit the middle, it was a little jumbled.
yeah, which was
Your
cool.
lanes really got lost in the shuffle, and it was nice.
Well, number one, I'm not actually sure what your number one is. So this should be interesting. My number one is actually Summit. It's Summit. My favorite map of Call of Duty, like probably ever, is Summit. Um, I love that middle area that you were talking about where all the chaos happened. I would camp either one way, or I would camp the stairs, or I would do something there. Getting up in that one tower was fun, even though it was probably pointless.
Oh yeah, yeah. You have to run
Yeah,
outside of the building.
yeah, being on that
There was no
catwalk.
reason to do that. It did nothing for you, but it was so fun to do because you just felt
Yeah.
like king of the world, you know?
Yeah, it was one of those maps that you could just run through and destroy people if you were good enough. You could just run through and just get the spawns to flip all the time. Um, and that cart
Good map.
that you were talking about, I loved doing that when I was a youngin.
Oh yeah,
Just
man. And it's always
falling off
funny
the
because for
cart.
every jump you made, you missed probably about 5 of them
Yeah, yeah, like
because it swung back right when you went to jump.
yeah, and there would be no reason to be like in it.
Oh,
No
yeah,
reason.
you would basically lose it for your team because you're sitting there fucking off with that. But it was so much fun to do.
Yeah, beautiful snowy map. I'm glad it got remastered.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good map.
Yeah.
My number 1 map is Hotel.
Oh, really? A DLC map.
I
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I actually really liked Hotel. I
Wow.
I just loved every aspect of it. I loved the middle because you had the sniper lane, but then you also had the close quarter where you could duck behind the bar to avoid the sniper. You could go either way to get around him. You had both lanes on the side. The elevators, oh my god, I just my favorite thing ever in Call of Duty Black Ops 1 multiplayer was putting a claymore in the elevator, and then having the elevator go down, somebody goes to go in, and you just get
Oh,
a kill because you know
yeah.
what happened. The elevators
Yeah.
were so fun to me, and I loved every aspect of Hotel, even the aesthetic. I loved it.
Wow, I'm surprised about that one. I did not expect
I
that.
I was actually really surprised by your list. Some of these I did not expect.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
are-
Pretty different lists.
Yeah, for real.
Overall actually, which I guess just shows how good BO1 maps were.
Honestly, like I said, even like the lowest rated maps, they aren't bad maps. It's just that compared to what they were dealing with in Black Ops, they just didn't really stand a chance. They'd probably be average maps on any other Call of Duty.
Yeah. But overall, let us know what you guys thought of our list. What is your number one map? I probably would not argue with any of them unless you had radiation at number one. Then I'd probably
Uh,
argue with
hold,
you.
hold on. No, nobody's arguing about radiation.
Kung Lao or Kowloon at
Kung,
number one.
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao at number one. Well,
Oh shit.
but yeah, that is it for us, guys. Catch us in the next one.
Alrighty, drop a like and subscribe if you like it, and we'll be cranking out some more videos for you.
All right, peace out.
Adios.